Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, welcome back if you've watched the previous video before. So my name is Oyinda and I like to read a lot, and so basically this channel is me just documenting what I read. Hopefully I'll be able to recommend and all that. So these are all, oh, this is a heavy stuff. These are all the books I want to read in November. This is definitely the delusional edition because I'm in school, and yeah, let's just say that things are really ramping up as we're coming to the end of the semester. So is it realistic to try and read these many books? Probably not, but who cares? Anyway, so I'll be going in order and just telling you a brief summary about all the books I want to read basically, and hopefully one of these pique your interest. So the first book I want to read is Monsters We Defy. This is historical fantasy. So we have this woman, and I think we have this world where for magic, people can use magic but as a price, so it kind of comes with a curse or something. Anyway, so she wants to basically steal this artifact, and she basically gathers this bunch of people, this crew, to basically steal this artifact. I guess it'll be like found family vibes, and yeah, and I think it's set in 1920s Washington, so maybe like jazz era, that type of thing. So yeah, historical fantasy is a standalone. It's not too long. Oh, and it's floppy. So yeah, I basically want to prioritize my physical TBR. I want to make a dent in the physical books which you can see behind me, because I need to be able to justify why I'm buying so many books. So yeah, so I want to prioritize my physical books. Yeah. The next book I want to read is Sabriel by Garth Nix. This is older young adult fantasy. I believe this was published in like 1995 or so. So yeah, I just really got into, I mean, I've always been reading, but I really got back into reading like properly, like almost obsessively really last year. So I want to basically catch up on all the older young adult fantasy and maybe make a tier ranking list one day. So yeah, so we basically have this young woman who has to go save her father, and I know there's necromancy, and yeah, that's pretty much it from this thing. So yeah, this is highly praised, so I think I look forward to reading it and hopefully enjoying it. Then the next book I want to read is called The Diabolic. I want to confirm this is like sci-fi, almost like a space opera. So we have these diabolics, is genetically engineered like bodyguards, and they're engineered so that they are loyal to one person and are willing to kill and do anything for this one person. And so we have one of this whose name is Nemesis, and she basically has to impersonate the person she's protecting in order to keep her safe when she's called to the Emperor's court. I've started it. So far so good. It's really intriguing, really interesting. So yeah, The Diabolic, I'll put it up here. Then the next book I want to read is Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. This is the sequel to Scythe in the arc of a Scythe trilogy. I read that in September and I really enjoyed it. So in this world, we have basically a utopia. So basically death has been conquered. Humanity knows all that humanity needs to know, but the population has to be kept from exploding. So basically we have these sites, and then sites are supposed to, you know, keep the population in check and kill people. And so we follow these two teenagers who become apprentices for this site. And then this book just basically like really deals into like a lot of themes, a lot of questions of like, you know, is life worth living if there's nothing to achieve, and like, you know, yeah, and it's just really like this examination of this world, and even the sites who are given so much power as well, and we see corruption in the site. It was really interesting, it was really intriguing. And also a part of the book that really intrigued me was basically in this world there's this AI who is in charge of everything, and the Thunderhead. And so I think we're going to learn more about the Thunderhead, and that was very intriguing to me, like benevolent AI. I'm like, okay, that's really intriguing. So yeah, arc of a Scythe, Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. Then the next book I want to read is Minor Detail. I'll put it up here. So this book was supposed to win an award, but then it was called back, and so that piqued my interest, and so I want to read it now. It's basically about this this young woman, Palestinian woman, who was raped by Israeli soldiers, and it happened like a while ago in the past. And then we followed this young woman in the present who finds out about this and basically wants to delve deeper into what happened. And yeah, it's supposed to be a novella. It's really short, but it's supposed to pack a punch. So yes, I'll be reading that. Then the next book I want to read is Squire by, let me just confirm the name of the author, by Nadia Shamas and Sarah Alfiga. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So basically we followed this young woman who wants to become a squire in this world, but basically she finds out that maybe being a squire isn't all that it's supposed to be, and it's not all cracked up as it's supposed to be, and she basically finds out that maybe she's being lied to. So it's a graphic novel. It's about 300 pages, and yeah, it really piqued my interest, so I'll be reading that. Then the next book I want to read is also The Diviners by Libra Bray. And so basically we have this young woman who has to go to live with her uncle, I believe. Let me just confirm that. Yeah, so she basically has to live with her uncle, and I know it's set in the 1920s in New York City. We have speakeasies and all that. She has this power, and basically they find a girl who's murdered, and she basically has to go on this, like, not adventure, but this kind of, not quest, but you know what I mean, to help solve the murder, because she finds that she can maybe use her powers to help. So yeah, this is supposed to have like some horror elements. It's supposed to be some spooky elements, and as it's getting dark everywhere, just felt like the right time to read it. So yes, that's The Diviners by Libra Bray. Then I've been reading quite a lot of fantasy and sci-fi, so it's been very heavy, so I just said, like, let me change of pace. So this is The Story of a New Name by Elena Ferrante. This is the second book in the Neapolitan Quartet, I don't know why, by Elena Ferrante. I read the first book, My Brilliant Friend, in August, and I really liked it. So basically we're following these two girls, and we're following these two women and their friendship from their childhood up to like their old age. And so in the first book we followed them from like childhood to about 16, 17. So the first book was really like, I don't know, the way she writes emotions, and it's just like the complexities of like female friendships, the angst, the ache. It was perfect. I saw myself so much in Elena, the main character. It's like, I felt read to filth. So yeah, I've really been looking forward to this one. I look forward to following them on their journey. So yeah. The next book I want to read is also another older young adult fantasy. This, I know we're following two timelines, and so we have this one who, the first timeline is a young person who discovers like magic, and he basically puts his family in danger, and so we have that timeline. And then we have this other timeline the other person who is a princess. It's a princess, and she's basically wants to be like her mother, but something happens. I really don't know a lot. I can't read the description properly. Anyway, this is older. I've heard nothing but praise for this book, so I was really intrigued and interested. Did I commit and buy the whole quartet? Did I also do that for Sabriel as well? Yes, maybe. Let's not talk about it. Anyway, yeah. Then the next book I want to read is Guns of the Dawn by Adrian Tchaikovsky. So we basically have these two countries at war, and they've been at war for a while, and then basically to keep the war going, the men have all been killed, and so they basically start to conscript young women. And so this young woman has to go and join the war, and then we follow her, and then we find out more about the war. I mean, things are not exactly as it seems, and this is basically like steampunk. I think there are guns, and it's a fantasy world, which is like always been such an intriguing like prospect. Like every time if I hear that about it, I'm like, I want to keep that. So yeah, I definitely want to read more of this, so this would be my first foray into that. So yeah, then the next book I want to read is Year of the Reaper by Makia Lucia. Also, look at this, like, look at this. Anyway, so basically we're following this prisoner of war who has been released, and then he goes back to his home, and basically he finds that there is a target on the queen. There's an assassin after the queen, and so he has to basically find out what is going on and solve that. It's such So basically he's searching for the killer, and then he forms, I think, an alliance with a young woman, and they basically have to figure out what happened. Also, I know there's a plague going on. So yeah, it's short. I have this gorgeous edition, and yeah, I have to knock that out. Then I also have Strike the Zither. I know you're probably wondering like anyway, Strike the Zither. I picked this up a while ago, like in July. I started reading it a bit, but I was busy. I had exams, so I had to drop it. And yeah, I feel like reading it again. And the sequel is coming. It's supposed to be a standalone, yes, but then a sequel was announced. So I want to read it before the sequel comes out, basically. So we follow this young woman who is basically serves like as a war strategist for this lord, but lordess. It's a woman, and this lord is loyal to the empress, but I think the empress has been betrayed or something like that. So basically there are three warlords. Yes, I remember. So there are three warlords who are trying to vie for the throne. I think the empress has been betrayed, and so she's serving one who is loyal to the empress, but then basically she has to leave and try and infiltrate the enemy camp of the other warlordesses and basically scheme and figure out. It was really, really interesting. I know this is a reimagining of, I can't remember which era in Chinese history. I would say the Three Kingdoms, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong, so please correct me if you know. Please correct me in the comments. But yeah, there's this. And last but not the least, no, actually there's one more. Okay, so we have A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. She's become really popular with her other book going kind of viral on Book Talk. That was Divine Rivals. So this is A River. This is earlier though. Also look at this. Look at the edges. Anyway, this is the limited edition. So we have this bard who is basically called back home when young girls start to go missing, and people suspect that it's the spirits at work, and then basically bards can like calm down spirits and talk down spirits. So basically he's invited back home, and then I think he has to work with someone who he doesn't particularly get along with. And anyway, we basically follow that. I've heard that it's really lyrical, it's really like low, not like super high stakes from what I know, but it's supposed to be like very cozy, sort of. Yes, so I really look forward to reading it. So yeah, and then the last book on my TBR is Daughter of the Empire. This has been on my TBR, like I've been pushing it forward. This is basically, we have this young lady who has to lead her people, and in this struggle for survival. And yeah, honestly, I don't know too much. I think this is even like a trilogy in another world. I don't know. Honestly, all I heard was political intrigue and scheming, and I was like, yeah, because I've found that that's something I really like in fantasy. I really like when there's a lot of scheming, a lot of, you know, yeah. So political intrigue, all that. I found that that's something I really like. So yeah. So basically, these are all the books I want to read. I want to prioritize my physical books. However, I don't think I'll be able to, because I read physical books slower. I don't think this is just, I don't know if it's like a worldwide phenomenon. I just find that I read ebooks faster. So I kept a couple of ebooks in there in case I can't like read all my physical books, even though I really want to prioritize them, because I just feel like ebooks are so much easier to read on the go, you know. Anyway, so yeah, these are all the books I want to read. I hope maybe one or two of these piqued your interest. I hope you pick it up. If you do pick it up, please let me know if you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy your weekend. I hope you have a great week ahead, and I hope you have a good reading month. Okay, bye.